Hey guys, we're back at it again with another tier list. This time it is the major US cities tier list, so this one's gonna get interesting. So, you know how tier lists work, hopefully. And if you don't, then you're living under a rock. So first up is Chicago. I think Chicago is a solid B tier city. I feel like the media gives it a really, really bad rap. Um, with all the crime and of course Al Capone, who could forget. But it's a decent city. San Francisco, recently Xi Jinping visited the city and they did a huge cleanup. Not as good as Chicago. It kind of got messed up. Philadelphia, wow, we are really starting off interesting here. Definitely better than San Francisco and Chicago. Oh no, not better than Chicago, that's for sure. Uh, Decent sized city, but I've never been, so I can't really say much. Now, Portland, I know someone from Portland. I'm gonna have to put this in C tier because D tier is for Detroit. Um, it's definitely not. I know someone from Oregon. They basically legalized every drug apparently. Baltimore, again, not a city I'd want to live in. Denver, I feel like this one's a solid. Ooh, I feel like this one deserves A tier. Nice mountain scenery, pretty interesting skyline. Honolulu, you know, if you've watched my U.S. states tier list, you know how I feel about Hawaii. But I guess I'd rather live here than Chicago. So that's what it gets. Miami, I'm from Florida, but I can't really put this in shining city on a hilltop because like this isn't the absolute best city that we have. But it's not a bad city, even though it completely grew and became a major city because of cocaine. Minneapolis, honestly, it's not too bad. Pretty boring if you ask me. Name one thing from Minneapolis. Seriously. Detroit? D for Detroit. This was failed by the automotive industry, and it's been failing. I would not want to live here. Seattle, not a bad city. I think I can put it right here for now. Very good skyline with Mount Rainier in the back and the iconic Space Needle. San Antonio. This is one of the few cities on this list that I've been to. I can't say it's a shining city on a hilltop, but I think it does deserve a nice spot up in A tier because it's definitely not a bad city. That's for sure. It's not boring. It's probably the least boring city in Texas, if you ask me, because it has the Alamo, and that's like the one interesting thing. Cleveland, the good old mistake on the lake. Yep, it's going probably here. The river there is caught on fire multiple times. We got Orlando. I hate as the Floridian, someone from Florida. I hate Orlando. It's like the lamest city that we have. San Diego. It's like Los Angeles, but smaller. It's not like bad. I've been. It's quite nice. I think it deserves a nice little spot right there. New York, our biggest city. I can't say it's a shining city on a hilltop, but I can say it's a pretty decent city. Probably better than Honolulu. Definitely for sure better than Minneapolis. Not bad. Indianapolis. This city is so boring, but I can't say it's better than Orlando. Not better than Cleveland, because at least Cleveland has like a lake. The city has nothing but racetrack. It's nothing but like it's known for a racetrack, and that's it. It's it's really boring. All right, so now we got Pittsburgh. I've been to this airport a couple times. It used to be a steel city. Now it's dying. Feel like I can put it maybe right. Give it a right spot out here. Atlantic City. I don't even know why this one is here, but it's all gambling. So I'm gonna put it at the end, at the start of C tier. I don't even know why this is here. New Jersey is one of our worst states, if you ask me. Memphis, this city is also not a city I'd want to live in. It's one of the most unsafe cities in the country. So that's that. Anchorage. Again, I wouldn't exactly call this one a major city, but during the Cold War it was pretty important as an airplane hub. So yeah, I feel like that should give it something, right? Uh, yeah. Atlanta, Georgia. The city is certainly interesting. I would say it's maybe about right here. Definitely better than Orlando. I hate Orlando with a burning hot passion. Uh, Atlanta's alright. Got one of the busiest airports in the U.S. though, so I feel like that should give it something. Cincinnati. I think I might just put all the Ohio cities, however many there are here, on the same level because they all start with a C. They're all boring. They're all B tier. Washington D.C. This one has to deserves A just for everything it's done. This is the capital. There's so much to do here. It's one of the most famous cities. Austin. All right, now this one. This is like if this is like the freshman, uh, but all the other Texas cities. Oh, sorry, this is like the seventh grader, but all the other Texas cities like Houston and Dallas and San Antonio are all eighth graders. I feel like it can go right about here, but other than that, it's pretty boring and definitely not as good as San Antonio. That's for sure. Kansas City. This one's been improving. Definitely better than St. Louis, that's for sure. But I think it deserves maybe a low A tier, kind of a middle of the road thing, and definitely something you would pass by on a road trip, but not a destination really. Los Angeles, our nation's second biggest city. This one's alright. I've never been, but it's the largest in California. I think it deserves maybe a spot right there. Pretty good. New Orleans, again, also not a city I'd want to live in. One of those cities on the quote lower Mississippi where it's like a swamp and it's like a crime and dirty and smelly and constantly flooding. Next up is Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona is fine. You have a pretty trash skyline, but Camelback Mountain, I guess, fixes it. One of the few cities on this list that I've actually been to, so I can say with pretty good certainty that it's better than Denver, probably better than Anchorage, but probably not better than Washington D.C. Las Vegas, also have been to this one. This one's definitely one of the most interesting cities. It's also definitely a destination. However, all around the city it smells like pot. So I think I'm gonna give it a spot right about there below Chicago, but above Pittsburgh. Boston, this one's actually pretty cool. I think Boston's fine, but they have some strange roads going on. But can't really blame them. It's one of the oldest cities on this list. Next up is Dallas. Dallas is a shining city on a hilltop. Great skyline. Uh, just truly just great. You know, even though there isn't much to do here, it's not like we have great. It's not like we have a lot of crime or poverty or anything in Dallas, which is good. Lastly, St. Louis. We're ending this one off on a low note. This definitely is probably high C tier trash. So I don't know. This is what I think. If you're American, this is what I think of you. I'll see you guys next time.